Great folks. This is the BlackWeasel, and this is my video game review of Final Fantasy 6 for the PlayStation 1 on the PS3. I bought this game along with Final Fantasy 5 when it was on sale back in June 2017. Now, due to better games I was playing at the time, I couldn't get around towards playing. I couldn't get around towards playing this one, but now here I am making this review video. Final Fantasy 6 does not take place in a medieval world as before, but you know what? It takes place in a world that's steampunked. And what I meant by that is that the world is powered by machines that look like it came out of the 19th century that happens to run on steam. Not magic, steam. The story is about a group of people who are rebels that are attempting to overthrow an evil empire because the emperor and one strange mage of the empire are causing a whole lot of misery onto the many people's lives. Their plan is to rely on espers, and the espers are these magical beings that used to be soldiers in the war of the Magi. Magi. Yeah, it's M-A-G-I. Anyways, the War of the Magi was an event that happened 1,000 years ago that was started by the Warring Triad and brought upon the destruction of the world back then. As a result, the use of magic was forbidden to prevent chaos and massive death, and so the humans from then on rely on science and technology. As a result, here is the setting of the world being powered by machines that are powered by steam. Now, in this particular game, there isn't just 4 players that will stick with each other until the end. There's 14 player. Good grief. Sounded like a freaking broken record player at this point. Anyways, there's 14 playable characters that can use 4 out of 14 to be used in one party. Not only that, but there are certain moments in the game where I needed to make 2 parties or even 3 to accomplish a certain task to move the story forward. Not only that, but the espers are able to be used by the main characters in order to defeat the monsters that come across their way. The combat is not turn-based but relies on the active time battle system from Final Fantasy 5. So from the last game and being used in this game, the battle system has become recurring. With that, I found myself going through icy caves, castle floors, factories, and the like, fighting through a bunch of monsters. The strange mage I was referring to is called Kefka, and this man stands out for obvious reasons. His clothes, his mannerism, and way of words, and his methods of carrying out murder, and his laugh, his friggin' laugh, like woo hoo 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 hoo. Hold on. Did I lose it? Wait. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Anyways, I could tell that Kefka was definitely gonna be the main boss of this game. In comparison of him towards the previous main bosses I fought against in Final Fantasy, which were X-Death from Final Fantasy V, the Emperor from Final Fantasy II, and Chaos from the Final Fantasy I. I found Kefka to be more lively, short-tempered, and real pure evil because in one part of the game, in order for the evil empire to attack one base, he uses poison and dumps it on a river connecting towards the base's water supply. And as a result, all the soldiers, women, and children fell ill from the poison and died. The music and soundtrack is not repetitive and bland to say the least. It's pretty great, and the 2 tracks I like were Terra's theme and the opera scene where one of the characters had to impersonate an opera singer. What sets Final Fantasy VI in a class of its own from the previous games are some of the real-world issues that continue to exist in this world today, and exactly what happens when the bad guy, the main boss of the game, gets his way. In this game, the bad guy makes actual moves that impact the main characters directly. He took over the world. He wasn't on the verge of conquering the land and murdering people. He did it. He murdered lots and lots of people and established a big-ass castle. He did it. Then here comes the part where some of the main characters respond that involve coping with the death of a loved one, teen pregnancy right after most of the world has been destroyed, and suicide when there's the belief of there's nothing to go on, so why bother living. So I'm going to give this game like a 9.5 out of 10. This is definitely one of the best role-playing games that I have played in my life. I have played this game from November 4th, 2017, and I finished it on November 16th, 2017. It's taken me 54 hours to finish this.